Okay, I think everything is recording, and so today is November the 13th. I feel like it has been a really long time since I recorded or painted or drawn anything. Life just kind of caught up to me these days, and I have been like trying to find a stance, like trying to figure it out myself as well. Yeah, like also my studio just closed. So our studio is shared with different artists with different disciplines. Like there's some artist that does jewelry and some artist that makes clothes, like a fashion designer as well. He makes his own brand, which is really cool. And we have some illustrators, and then me, I paint, and so on. So before we had 6 or 7 people. I can't really remember. Or 5, I think 5, yeah. So 5 people in the studio. And we were trying to get some more people to join our studio so we can split the rent and stuff like that, but it just really didn't work out, unfortunately. And on Instagram I also saw other studios looking for studio mates as well. So like I kind of just thought that if other studios are also looking for studio mates, then it's gonna be hard for us to look for studio mates, because I guess the economy is like pretty bad and not that many people have as much money as before, I guess. I'm not sure. But yeah, so we didn't find a studio mate, and we didn't find more studio mates. And the main person who rented the space couldn't afford it anymore, unfortunately. Like if he is watching this, please don't feel bad about like what has happened. He worked the best he could to have the studio for the time being, and he just wants us to use the studio as much as we can, because he earned it, and like all the extra money that he has to cover for the studio mates that we don't have yet, like he covered that. So yeah, really grateful. However, I don't know, like the studio closed kind of hit me a little bit, but then like at the same time I learned a lot from it, as in like I learned a lot from having a studio, because it's my first ever studio, right? And let me just draw the ears. And like technically speaking, I'm not actively earning money out of what I'm doing either. Like my paintings and stuff like that, I'm not actively earning the money. So whatever money that I earn on the side, either part-time or full-time, I have to cover that rent, the extra rent, and also my own rent. So yeah, that's like an expense technically. So let me just erase some guidelines. I don't have an eraser around me. There shouldn't be. I would always have an eraser. But anyway, so that's like an extra expense. And And with the studio closing, it kind of felt like, I don't know, I'm going all over the place. So the studio opened around March-ish, like spring. And then throughout summer, it was here and stuff like that. So when it closed, it was like August or November. Is it August or November? I'm not sure. I think October, yeah. So I kind of have the feeling that summer has ended, that kind of feeling. So it was like a summer thing. Everyone was happy, but it just didn't really last as long as we wanted, and everything has ended, that kind of feeling. Like Japanese has like a really beautiful phrase of summer has ended, as in, you know, the people that needs to break up. Fall is coming, everything's like starting to die. Kind of sounded kind of depressing, but technically it's like that kind of feeling. So, you know, I still miss it. And then like, if eventually I do want to have another studio again in the future, I think I would think about it a little bit more. As in, like, am I currently earning money, or like, can I actually cover the expense? And also having a little bit more foresight in the future as well. As in, like, what if the job that I doing right now, I don't like it anymore, and if I quit, can I also afford the space and stuff like that, like all the logistics. But yeah, the studio closed. That's that. And then I am home, kind of just figuring out like what to do, how to do, and when to do. So yeah, right now I have 2 part-time jobs. I'm not sure if I mentioned this before in my other videos, but basically, so this dog is completed. But basically I have 2 part-time jobs. I know it's like a hustle life technically, and in Toronto you kind of just need to have that hustle life, especially for artists. Okay, this dog is good. Okay, so I honestly like 2 part-time jobs. I'm not sure if I like it or not, to be honest. Like, oops, it's fine. Like, it works for me right now, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna like it in the future or stuff like that. Hey, where's my paintbrush? Where's my favorite paintbrush? Oh, I found it. Because, let me see. Let me just grab some paint here. So the paint that I'm using is, I think I'll link it down below, or I'll just show you guys what paint am I using. It's Japanese paint. I really like this Gansai Tambi watercolor set. It's awesome. Like, I compared it to Winsor & Newton, and what I find is like Korean paint or Japanese paint, they're similar to gouache in the sense that they can be really thick or really thin. You can thin it out. They have more coverage, which I really like. But then like Winsor & Newton, they're still good quality paint, but it's just a little bit too watery, you know what I mean? Like, I know they're watercolor and technically they should be watery, but I don't know. It's just a little bit too watery. So we're gonna paint her. Ugh, I haven't painted in a long while. So let's see. And then I'm just using a flat brush from Princeton, Velvet Touch. Yeah, so back to the 2 part-time jobs. Because I can get easily caught up in the different dramas at work, and I personally really don't like that. However, I do get caught up in it, and it does affect me, unfortunately. So having 2 different jobs or 2 types of work that I'm doing, it kind of eases off my mental state in a sense that I'm not too consumed in one thing. Like, if I'm only part-time in a job, I don't really need to care like what's happening, you know what I mean? I don't need to care if the boss is nice or not, like as long as she's okay, decent, whatever, I'm good. I'm like fine. And then I don't need to really think about like, oh, who's friends with who, and then whatever conflict that they have, I can get caught up in those. But then like if I'm just part-time, I literally just don't give a fuck as much because I'm just not there all the time, you know? Like I couldn't care less. So that's like one part that I like about part-time jobs. I know it doesn't provide the insurance and stability, to be honest. But then at the same time, if I do get fired from one job, I have another one at least. So it's not too bad. It's not like I have everything in one pot, which is kind of scary. And I think I mentioned before, stability right now, I don't know, nothing is stable. Nothing is stable. So I'm just gonna grab some more yellow ochre and actual yellow, lemon yellow, actual yellow. Huh. And then kind of carve out the shadows. And also, like, as you guys know, I had issues with my previous camera kind of overheating, and it can only record for like 20 to 30 minutes, which is really annoying because sometimes I just don't know when it stops by itself. Yeah, but hopefully this one is good. So I'm using DJI Osmo Pocket 3. I have the Osmo Pocket 1 and I really liked it, but like because it's the first one, it just really didn't have a lot of, it's not really accessible. So it doesn't have a lot of accessories to come with it. So for example, if I want to do an overhead shot, I have no idea how to do it. Yeah, so it's kind of inconvenient in that sense. And also the quality is okay. I don't really like the color of it. But when I checked the Osmo 3 that my friend has, like a couple of my friends have it, it's actually really good, especially like when my friend imported in their computer. I'm like, wow, it's really good quality. I really like the colors of it. And let me see. Yeah, like everything's good. So I asked my friend from China to buy it from me using, you know, Chinese yuan, of course. It is a little bit cheaper. It's like maybe $200-300 cheaper. Still relatively expensive, but like it's a little bit cheaper. So yeah, that was good. And also adding shipping. The shipping was okay, I guess. It was like $40 for this, because sometimes these type of shipping, it really depends on what brands that you have, that you carry, that you're shipping here. If it's like a well-known brand, it might be a little bit more expensive. Yeah, and then thank God there's no customs, there's no duties, which is nice, because I assume for electronics, I don't think there's like customs, like that much duties with it. The most customs are obviously luxury items, as in, you know, those Louis Vuitton or whatever, bags, clothes, and stuff like that. So those are definitely has more taxes on them. Right now I'm just trying to find a darker color for the crevices of her smile. And here. I think, do I have a darker? No. I'm trying to find a darker brown, but I don't think I have a darker brown, so I'm just gonna use some purple. Mixing in like a lighter color. I find I use white a lot, surprisingly. Well, I mean, I shouldn't be too surprised, because obviously white is a really important color shade, technically speaking. But yeah, okay, let's do that. And then I'm gonna grab some red. Yeah, let me know how you guys like this format, and what about the mic. I'm actually really nervous about everything, because I don't know how the mic is. I know it's good, but like, how good? What kind of good is it? Is it okay good, or is it really good? What type of noise can it detect? You know, stuff like that. And how's the camera quality? Would it stop in the middle? So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. But honestly, I feel so nice coming back to painting. And I don't know, recently I do have some free time, but whenever I have free time, I just spend the time being anxious instead of actually being productive that I should, you know. It's hard not to be anxious in these days because of everything that's happening. Or am I earning enough money? Can I pay my bills and shit like that? It's annoying, to be honest. Adulting is hard. No one really prepared me for adulting. I'm not blaming anyone, but I'm just saying, like, parents, they only say to do this or to do that, but they don't really say why. And I think, like, when we are younger, we really don't understand the why. Okay, gonna paint her mouth at the inside of it. Should add a little bit of yellow. Nice. Maybe a little bit. I don't have orange here, which kind of sucks, but now looking at it, I don't have any orange, but it should be okay. Gonna add more white here. I think it's a little bit pink. This is nice. And then her ear. It's relatively pink here. I feel like I should grab my own white instead of just digging into whatever that's left here. Ugh. I really enjoy this paint, to be honest. I really, really enjoy it. It's just nice and creamy. I think the ear is a little bit too dark. Here we go, a little bit darker here. And then the shadow part is dark. Ugh, that doesn't really look dark. Yeah, I mean, life has been good. I haven't been up to really much recently, I don't think so. I had a Instagram detox for a month, which is really, really nice, to be honest. Like, especially the first couple of days or the first week even. Like, my muscle memory, it's literally just muscle memory. My default is just to click on Instagram every single time when I have free time, whenever I pick up the phone. It's so bad. And I realize that, but it's so hard. It's like wired in my brain to press Instagram, to click on Instagram. It's crazy. I never realized that. People have been talking about it, but you know, you don't really realize that when you actually experience it. Yeah. And after it was one of my friend's birthday that I really felt happy, like at that moment. I really want to share the happiness. So I went on Instagram and posted about his birthday. And also at the same time, like one of the photography studio, they invited me on a collaboration on like a photo shoot and stuff. So I kind of also needed to post that as well on my social media. So this part is a really light yellow. Let's see. Oh, and then when I got back to Instagram, it was really overwhelming. I have to say, there was a lot of notification, there was a lot of red dots, like a lot. And I just tried to minimize the notification I get Like, I appreciate everyone, you know, replying to my story or like whatever. I appreciate it. But there are times that like I just don't want to see it. I really don't care. I just want to share the moment and that's it. Like, whether or not you like it, it really doesn't matter to me. So yeah, so I turned off those Instagram story replies. Turn that off, which was nice. And I try to be mindful not to scroll too much, because you can get caught up really easily scrolling on Instagram. I think everyone does, even me. It's just too addictive. And I also try, I say try because like I am trying, and hopefully it continues in a good way. And I also try not to look at my phone as much or even scroll on Instagram as much the first thing in the morning. Like, I know first thing in the morning I'm gonna check my phone, which I can't really change that, to be honest. But like, I can check on those immediate messages that I have. But then like after that, I'm gonna, you know, get my workout in. After my workout, then I check. Nice, I really like this. I might need some more actual white though. So I'm gonna grab that. Oops. Where's my white? Gotcha. Oops. My chair just collapsed. I have a foldable stool. And right now I'm using the Winsor & Newton white. Ugh. And so I have been pretty lost recently. Lost as in like, you know, life and whatever. And yesterday I was just vlogging, just like kind of documenting day-to-day life. I used to do that during the pandemic. I have a vlog channel during the pandemic, and yeah, some of my friends watch it, and some people really enjoyed it because, you know, it's the pandemic and everyone really, they don't do a lot of stuff. So from the feedback that I heard, it's nice to have to watch someone else's life. It feels connected. And yeah, and I have just started, well, yesterday I just posted a vlog on my personal channel, and it felt nice. It felt like a feeling I haven't had in a really long while. I really like to find the different angles that I want to shoot. It's a little bit too dark, that black here. This is good. I like that. A little bit more brown. If everything can just stay still. Like this paint, particularly, even in the instructions, it says that if you use it really thick, it can become that type of gouache kind of feeling. And then if you use it thinly, it can become more like watercolor. But honestly, right now, after using these paints, I really like the creaminess of gouache. It just has like a different texture to it. Okay, I like that. I'm gonna wash my brush. $30 has gone by. Wow. So right now I'm going to paint her ears light pink, but then still relatively white in the middle here. Like I'm laying it on really thick. Dun dun dun. Yep. I like this. I like this ear. That dry brush here, it kind of looks like it's hair. It has that type of feeling. And then now I'm going to go on with her tongue. Ooh, I don't like this red for her tongue. Maybe this, a little bit warmer. I'm really going in with the brush. Look here. Ah, this is nice. A little bit warmer. Yes, this color is nice for the tongue. Then if I want to make it a little bit darker, I might just add purple, brown towards the back here. Maybe a little bit at the front, and then a little darker brown. More brown, just to have that transition. And then starting to add a little bit of black. Here, really, really nice. I really like this. A little bit on her tongue. And while I'm waiting for her tongue to be dried, I think I'll get started on her body. And basically at this point we are very much done, to be honest. Ugh, I enjoy painting a lot. Sometimes I do forget how much I enjoy it. A little bit darker because this one is at the back. Nice. Now back to our tongue. I am going to use a smaller brush for details just because the black is really dark. So I'm just gonna use it here. Bro, you literally can't even tell anything. Okay. I have blue a little bit. Alrighty, so this part is the darkest. This part is really dark. I'm trying to grab onto more of the black. Like here. Now the nose. So the nose is a little bit of like brownish black. So we're gonna cover it in that color first. I feel like for the nose it does have a little bit hint of purple at the bottom. Purple and brown, let's do that. Yes, I like this. And then at the rounder edges, it'll be more blue. Ooh, this is way too dark. This is way too dark. I'm gonna use a lighter blue to balance it off. I like this. Now it will be just the nose itself. I feel like the nose is pretty hard because it has a lot of layers to it. As in, it has a lot of subtleties. Okay. And then the side. And then the white part of the nose. Last final white part of the tongue. And the nose. Let me just use another brush. Oh, I feel like this is a little bit too soft for the eyes. Okay. This brush is actually really nice because it's so pointy. Nice. Last but not least, the light of the eye. Doop. And doop. I think we are done. We are done with this dog.